Hello and welcome to the Jank Tank, a weekly series where I build questionable decks and throw them against the constructed ladder. I have some good combo jank for you today. We are winning with Brash Taunter. Brash Taunter is a 5-drop that is indestructible. It's a 1/1, and when it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to your opponent. So he is a good blocker because you play him, they can't attack into you because he's indestructible, and he'll just deal damage back. Plus he's got 3 mana, tap, and fight another creature, so even if they just stop attacking you, he can still get damage into your opponent. So he's good at blocking on the ground, but we are going to combo him with Fiery Emancipation. Fiery Emancipation is 6 mana, triple red. If a source would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. Which means that when Brash Taunter gets damaged, he's going to take 3 times that much damage if it's my own spell. And then when he deals that damage to an opponent, he's going to deal 3 times that much damage to the opponent as well. So, just as an example, let's say I hit my Brash Taunter with this Fire Prophecy. It's going to deal 3 damage to the Taunter. If I have a Fire Emancipation in play, now it deals 9 damage to the Brash Taunter. And the Brash Taunter, in turn, is going to deal not 9 damage, but 27 damage to our opponents. So that's the goal, is to play a Brash Taunter and then deal damage to him with our own stuff. Even if our opponent's gained a bunch of life, it probably won't stand up to a Brash Taunter taking large amounts of damage that it's then being tripled. So the rest of the deck is going to basically be a Gates shell. The Gates deck, if you haven't seen it before, basically is this Gatebreaker Ram with a bunch of Guild Gates. It's a 3 mana, 2/2, but it gets +1 for every gate you control, so it's very easily like a 5/5 or a 6/6 with Trample and Vigilance. And it can kind of end the game by itself if not answered. So this is our apparent plan. This is our distraction for what we're actually trying to do. We're going to play out Gatebreaker Ram and try and attack with it. Our opponent will probably use removal and stuff early game to deal with the Gatebreaker Ram while we set up for our combo. We've got Gates Ablaze, which is going to deal X damage to each creature with X to the number of gates we control. So this helps clear the board. It's a board wipe. It's usually going to do about 3 or 4 points of damage, maybe more. But it hits all creatures, so that means that Brash Taunter will get hit by it when we do our board wipe. So we're going to be doing 3 mana to deal 4 to even 8 damage to our Brash Taunter, which will be reflected straight to our opponent's face. And the other part of the guild deck, or the Gates deck, is the Guild Summit. It is a 3-mana enchantment. When it comes in, you draw cards for every gate that you play after it comes in. But it also, when it comes in, you can tap gates that you control to draw cards. So it's going to refill our hand and make all of our land drops turn into card draw, basically. It's a great source of card draw. Helps keep us in the game against control decks. After they've countered all of our important stuff, our Guild Summit will keep us drawing stuff. And then we got Circuitous Route to get more gates into play, basically. It's going to ramp us and set us up to be able to play Fiery Emancipation, as well as maybe card draw with Guild Summit or a big Perforous Intervention. So the Intervention is here because it also scales well as damage against creatures. Its first mode is create an X1 elemental token, which can deal damage to our opponent. If we got Fiery Emancipation in play, that's a lot of damage, so that's nice. It's big, hasty damage out of nowhere. But the other mode on it is to deal twice X damage to a creature or planeswalker. If we've got Brash Taunter in play, then that's going to be quite a bit of damage that we can deal straight to our opponent's face with X amount of mana. So let's say we pay 5 for this on our Brash Taunter. We're going to deal 10 damage to the Taunter and 10 to the opponent. And that's before even doing anything with Fiery Emancipation, which would become 30 and then 90 points of damage. So that's fun. And then in the mid-game, we got Fire Prophecy to help deal with creatures that our opponent is that we need spot removal for. And it also helps us draw more cards, gets rid of pieces that we don't need in our hand, and Track Down. I think Track Down is one of my favorite cards in the new set. It's kind of up there with Omen of the Sea for me, in that you pay 2 mana and scry 3, and then you reveal the top. If it's a creature or land, you draw a card. But you can use this to basically scry for anything that you want. It will replace itself as long as you find a land or creature in the top 3 of your deck, and then you can draw the card that you actually want next turn. So it's a little slow, but it is very versatile in looking for any of our cards. Obviously, we can get a Brash Taunter straight to our hand, but if we need a board wipe or a Fiery Emancipation, we can use this to find that as well. And it just helps us get more lands into play, too. It doesn't put them straight into play, but it puts them into our hand to keep our lands flowing. Yeah, I believe that's the whole deck. We're going to basically try and play Gatebreaker Rams to keep them busy early game, use Gates Ablaze, Fire Prophecy to clear out their board, Perforous Intervention if necessary to just kill their threats, Storm's Wrath, keep the board clear, and then play Brash Taunter with Fiery Emancipation, and use board clears that deal damage to all creatures, or Perforous Intervention to deal a lot of damage to the Brash Taunter. And hopefully that'll be enough to kill our opponent. Should be good. I've had a lot of success with it until today. This morning I have not had a lot of good games, but I made a couple changes, threw in a little bit more burn to deal with aggressive decks, which means it's going to be a little weaker against control matchups, but it depends on what you're playing against. No deck's good against everything. Alright, so we got 3 gates here, and Gates Ablaze, so we're pretty good on the Gatebreaker Ram plan. Let's see what our opponent's playing. Looks like some sort of sacrifice. This could be the Mardu, like Cat Oven style deck. It's pretty strong right now, I think. Well, let's use this opportunity to get our Gateway Plaza into play. And then next turn we can drop a Gatebreaker Ram. Our opponent is ramping. Let's see what they have. Could be like a Ruinous Ultimatum sort of deck. I wanted to make a good Ruinous Ultimatum. Haven't really found the right opportunity. We're gonna I should have done Circuitous Route first. That was my mistake. I'm not sure it'll matter. He probably has some Mortify or something. Alright, he's gonna save his removal for whatever I cast. We do have a source of blue. So I'm gonna get Gruul Guild Gates. I've got the others in my hand. Okay, so I'll get a semi. Okay, it didn't get removed. It's probably just gonna go for like a turn 6 Ethereal Absolution. Or a turn 5. More ramp. I'm pretty sure this is a Mardu Ultimatum. Brash Taunter can live through just fine, so that's fun. That works for me. I think that's actually... Yep, that's game. Wipe the board. Deal 4 damage to our opponent. And then, I didn't think I'd see the day. Brash Taunter gets in for 1. Perfect. Well, that wasn't much of a game. Our opponent took too long dealing with Gatebreaker Ram. I presume he did not draw that Murderous Rider until way too late. Otherwise I would have just slammed it as soon as I swung with a 4-4. This looks alright. This is pretty good if our opponent's slow. Guild Summit is not good against aggressive decks, but is very good against slower play. I'll just do this. Yeah, we'll go turn 3 Guild Summit. Maze Mind's Tome. It's a pretty good card. I was very down on Maze Mind Tome to start with, and I've reversed my opinion. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's quite reasonable. I underestimated how easy it is to pay 2 mana some turns. Alright, our opponent's like, oh, it's a Gates deck. Great. Gates decks are pretty dumb to play against. Maybe these Fire Prophecies should be Ramping Fruits. Or it could go full Teamer colors and play Growth Spirals. I feel like that's pushing my luck, though. Alright, what's she gonna do with 3 mana? Nothing. Okay, well, I guess we're digging for land. Alright, track down, you've let me down. I guess we'll get a Gatebreaker Ram. Do I want that Gates of Blade? I really want land, is what I want. Our opponent gets a chance to catch up. Or rather, get ahead. Force us to play catch up. No, Brash Taunter. Oh, non-creature. Alright, you got it. Goodbye, Storm's Wrath. Oh, how are we gonna kill this Paradise Druid now? Probably just gets killed. I imagine this gets Murderous Ridered. I feel like this is kind of greedy for a Maze Mind's Tome. I'm not putting too much pressure on him. He could have waited to get more card draw out of it. I suppose if you have more Maze Mind Tomes, though. Okay. That's... I appreciate this target. What don't we want? Another Fire Prophecy. Right, it's not a land, so now I do want that Fire Prophecy. Oh well. That's okay. He's got Death Touch. This is really tempting fate, isn't it? He'll deal 5 damage and spend his removal, killing the Gatebreaker, and then I can play Brash Taunter. I mean, he knows I have Brash Taunter in my hand. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So he gets in for 5, and then I get Brash Taunter away. Unless he has some sort of exile, the Taunter is going to stall Ronus pretty good. Oh, he could do Grasp of Darkness. I don't know if he's playing it. I have lost some Brash Taunters to Grasp of Darkness before. Oh, he's got the Erebos. Nice. Erebos Intervention. This is going to hurt. Didn't cast it. I presume he would have if he had it, because that would let him get in for 5 more damage. So this is probably a time to draw some cards. Nice. Very nice. So things are pretty dangerous right now. He didn't attack. That's nice. I'm going to draw some cards. Okay. I think I want Gatebreaker Ram and Gatebreaker Ram. I'm worried about an Embrace Forerunners here. No instant speed removal. Forerunners could still end things, though. There goes for Murderous Rider, so no End Runner. Okay, so right now I could Perforosted Intervention for 9 damage to my opponent's face on the Brash Taunter. I'm actually just going to kill a wolf. Still think Forerunners is lethal. Oh, I got 2 Perforoses. Do you have another Duress? Alright. Let's draw some cards. Now, he might still have an Erebos' Intervention. It's an instant. So let's play it safe. Oh, okay, that wasn't safe. I didn't do the math. 4 times 3 is 12, is 36 damage to our opponent. I wanted to do a big Perforos's Intervention. It would have been over 100, but that's alright. We got the win. Our opponent did not have Erebos' Intervention to kill Brash Taunter, and the Taunter just brought the game to a halt. It's a very slow hand, but we'll keep it. I've got 3 gates. And some removal. No, not enough removal. Okay. 1 Fervent Champion. Probably light up the stage. Yeah. Alright, he gets his lands. We are going to... I don't know. There's definitely an argument for Fire Prophecying right here. Yeah, I think there's a very strong argument for Fire Prophecy. It's dumb to take damage that we don't need. Don't need to. Good call. Alright. We're gonna get some good card advantage here. Oops. Yeah, I guess we'll get some of these, that's fine. That Cavalcade's good, but we're gonna have Brash Taunter, and Brash Taunter's hard for Mono Red to deal with. I've lost game. Ooh, double. Okay, well, it's not gonna be that hard for them to deal with. Don't want to deal with the Spitfire, especially not with double Cavalcade. So that hurts, but Brash Taunter can actually kill it, which is pretty cool. I think I just threw the game. That's okay. I think we're okay. So I could have played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no. I was slightly too short to Perforous Intervention my Brash Taunter for 7. Yeah, board wipe's good against low mono red, but you gotta get to them. Gates of Blaze, thankfully, is at the 3 mana mark, so that really helps. Especially when all your lands come in tapped, so it's really more like the 4 mana mark. Okay, this seems reasonable. We've got the Guild Summit here, so as long as our opponent isn't lightning fast. Mono red, great. I don't know why I say things like that. I got my Gates Ablaze. Give it back. I want it. Yeah, I think this is the right one. I don't really have time for Circuitous Route, unfortunately. Maybe I do? I don't know. I don't have the mana for it, for sure. Looks like our opponent might be stalling a bit. Oh, just kidding. Okay, which of these do we want to kill? This is 1 extra damage. If he has a Fervent Champion, this is 2 extra damage. I think we still just want to get rid of the Scorch Spitter. I don't think I actually do. I think I like all of these. Torbrand would be pretty good. Robber, okay, perfect. This hurts, but then we can get him. As long as he doesn't, like, Ember Cleave me to death right here. He can't. Excellent. Okay. Really need him to be out of stuff now. Now he needs to be out of stuff. Great. Love it. Down to 2. Just a little too strong. Any shock at this point kills me. Robber, Knight, any hasty creature at this point kills me. So I really need to find a creature that I can plop down. Yep, perfect. Do I want that land? Okay. Land. Okay. Next turn he is dead if he does not draw Shock or Skewer the Critics or whatever. Tim Street. Alright, yeah, I had a feeling I should have just drawn 1 with the Guild Summit. Very, very close. Could have gotten him down to 2 with the Fire Emancipation, but it was all the same one way or another. Boo. Yeah, had I only drawn 1 card off the Guild Summit, I think it was the... I didn't look at the order of the cards, but I think it was the Fire Prophecy off the top. It would have saved me some instant speed removal for a creature. I didn't think of a hasty creature that I cared about, though. I wasn't thinking of the Tin Street Dodger. I don't really like this hand. Yeah, I don't like it. We'll keep this. And we'll ditch the intervention. It's a little slow, but Guild Summit might keep us in this game. And we got some removal and creature. Like, it's got all the things. I just need to draw some gates. Okay. I think we can deal with that. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, I need a land. Something bad. Let's see, what do we not need? Actually, I'm just gonna get rid of this Taunter right now, I think. Oh, that didn't help. Alright, so now we can kill the Hunted Nightmare. Hopefully. Grey Merchant would basically end this game, though. See if our opponent has the land and Grey Merchant in hand. So he goes 6 in. Okay. I think I'm actually just going to Storm's Wrath here. I can kill that and take 5 going to 4, and then Grey Merchant would kill me. Yeah. I think Grey Merchant next turn still kills me. This is painful. I'm gonna laugh if I should have done X equals 8. I don't know if a 2-pump spell that he would cast right here. Maybe double Alchemist Gift? I don't think... Yeah. It's alright. So he gets me down to 3, and then Grey Merchant kills me. Dead Lurker, okay. Got it. So I suspect that Gatebreaker Ram is end of game. Murderous Rider is lethal. Down to 1. No, he had it the whole time. Alright. I guess he was afraid of a single blue mana over here being a counterspell. Alright. Just a little too fast for us. Tell you, it does not feel good playing Gates. Having all our land come in tapped is pretty rough. Nope, that's not keepable. That's really not good either. Alright, so I want Guild Summit, I want Intervention as well. I don't know if I want Guild Summit. Or, I don't know if I want Intervention. I do want Guild Summit. I'll probably take that Intervention right about now. Need something to slow this roll. Wasn't expecting two 1-drops. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, I messed up. Well, yeah, I probably should have gone for the Gruul Guild Gate here in hopes to top deck a Storm's Wrath or a Gates Ablaze. I mean, I guess I can still do either. Discard a card, fiery. Gateway. Alright, that's nothing. Was not expecting the ultra aggro. It does seem to be all that's going on this morning, though, is 1-drops. I lost a game earlier to a Luris deck that was a turn 1 Healer's Hawk, which I thought, okay, fine, I can burn this. They put a solid footing on it and a Sentinel's Eyes on it next turn. I was like, okay, it's still within burn range. Next turn, 3 Sentinel's Eyes. This is mediocre, but we'll keep it. I really like Track Down, but it might be a little too slow for this mono 1-drop format. But this will help now. Gateway Plaza, Gateway Plaza. I guess those are okay. Yeah, sure. My opponent hasn't thrown anything out yet, so maybe we need to go a little bigger. Is it Torbran? We're going straight to Torbran. Light up. Alright, he's got a kind of awkward hand, which is going to give us an opening, fortunately. Spitfire. Alright. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to get Perforous Intervention. That's not good. Also, missed it again. Surprising number of misses. I don't think I want Gates Ablaze. I want a gate is what I want. A gate here would be really good. I got a Brash Taunter, that's nice. I don't need one right now, but I can ditch it to Fire Prophecy, I guess. Yeah, actually I don't need this Brash Taunter in any way. What I need is a gate. Ow. It hurts. I don't like that shock over there. Got the gate, which is nice. Hopefully he doesn't have another Infuriate. Looks like he might. He's thinking. Shocks me. Sure. Okay. Gets in for 2 more. One more. I cannot afford to play that Gateway Plaza, because I believe I must Brash Taunter here. Slow that roll a bit. I've been here before. Very low on the health. Need them not to have stuff. Yeah, we got that 1 damage to the opponent. He goes double shock. Okay. I guess that's fair. You had the damage. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Perforos interventions just need to be more shock. Just straight up instant speed burn. It'd help against stuff like Infuriate. But it weakened me against Torbrand. If Torbrand showed up, I'd definitely want the intervention, so I don't know. Might be able to keep this. I don't like it. Oh, I got a mountain. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the only thing that makes sense. See, if this were a shock, I could have played... No, I wouldn't have had the mana to do the Gateway Plaza. Next turn I would be able to, though. Alright, so we got Gates Ablaze. Won't be able to cast it next turn, though. If I go Gateway here, I'll have 3 mana next turn. Gateway, I'll have 2 mana, so... That's the case. Don't like AC damage. So yeah, I can't. Brash Hunter can't block him either. We're dead. We're toast. I mean, this is a good hand if they're not going to drop a turn 1 Scorch Spitter. Playing against some sort of control-y. Seems a little slow. I guess it could still be birds. I've seen a lot of birds. We're going to Guild Summit. It's going to get countered. And then hopefully next turn he's like, okay, it's safe to play Guild Summit. Or it's safe to play something like Teferi. He's thinking about countering it. Okay, you have to. That would be the end of his game if he did not counter Guild Summit. I guess he wants... Okay, so this is a flash deck, so I guess he wanted to get his Brineborn Cutthroat in and decided he just couldn't afford to. Well, we're going to try it again. I expect this to get countered as well, since it's the flash deck. There we go. Play a gate. So our Storm's Wrath and Gates Ablaze should be pretty good against this style deck. but I'd still would really like to resolve a Guild Summit. Alright, he goes with the Teferi.
Right on schedule.
Teferi can bounce.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Stuff. Okay. So Guild Summit now is kind of pointless. I could Storm's Wrath, which is not great. Let me track down and see what we got coming up. So I definitely want that Brash Taunter. I guess I do, yeah. That'll put me to, yeah, okay. I really wish it hadn't tapped my blue there. I should have been paying attention. I don't want him drawing cards.
Don't worry, I got this.
Okay, he minuses himself. I like that. We're going to go for Guild Summit. And he will counter it. He will look for a counter spell. 2 to the bottom. He might still have it in his hand though. He's got Absorb Mana. Oh, we got it. He's gonna have to Teferi that. Sweet. He even got the draw off of it. So what he has to do now is plus Teferi, and then try and minus the Teferi to get the Guild Summit back in his hand. I've got Storm's Wrath, which will kill Teferi, so he has to counter that as well. I've got 4 gates in play, so I might be able to... Yeah, see, the problem is I can't really resolve spells still. I might just use the Storm's Wrath to try and keep his counter spells. So if he minuses Teferi right now, Teferi would die. I would get the Guild Summit back to my hand, which could let me draw a bunch more cards. I'll go with the Fiery Emancipation. He can bounce the Guild Summit if he wants. I think this is going to eat one of his counter spells. Yeah. Aw, Quench. Wrecked. That was the first time I've seen Quench in many weeks. Interesting. Clear the mind, huh? I wonder what else he's running that he feels like he needs to recycle. Okay, so he doesn't go for the Guild Summit bounce. Banishing Light, okay. That goes for the Guild Summit. I don't like the presence of Banishing Light, because that means that my Brash Taunter is quite prone. So let's go for Brash Taunter Gatebreaker Ram. Seems good to me. This could eat a Quench. Well, not a Quench. Essence Scatter, okay. Gatebreaker Ram. He's gonna have to get bounced by Teferi this turn.
Here we go.
Tossing stuff to the bottom, looking for counter spells. Go Gatebreaker Ram first in case he's got another Quench. See if he quenches this. Probably be like one of his last chances too if he can, so he probably should. Okay, he counters it. That's... I guess he was worried about another Brash Taunter, which is why this ram resolved. I guess he's got more Banishing Lights as well.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Witching Well. This has to be a Yorian deck, the amount of permanents he's got in play. Maybe he's playing that, Drown in Tears? Bounce all permanents and then put some back in. Okay, so... maybe he just... he might not have a counterspell. If he doesn't, this will be nice. It's down to 4 cards. He's used several. Let's see what we get. Can't imagine this is a thinking situation. Oh, he's wishing. Alright. Maybe he'll get a Meteor Golem. That's exciting. Magic Mirror. Okay, so I obviously don't know how this deck's gonna work. No maximum hand size, draw cards for forever. So we get 21 damage in. And that's the last time we ever got to play anything. If he's... this is so weird. If he is
I have a plan.
playing Magic Mirror, why would he... I mean, I guess it's not main deck. Maybe he's not planning on getting Magic Mirror. Oh, he's going to wipe the board and then put 4 permanents into play. I see. So he is playing that Drowned in Tears. Okay, Shattering. Maybe I should have Storm's Wrath too. Now we'll be able to get his Fire Emancipation back into play. Or back into my hand, and I'll have to recast it. Okay, doesn't matter anyways.
I'll protect you.
I think this wins, because you can't cast anything. I think we did it. Eat Gates Ablaze! Alright, close game, but we barely got there. Interesting. I didn't quite see his deck work, but I don't know what his win condition was other than drawing a bunch of cards and just having counterspells for forever. Maybe that was his game plan. He's just like, I'll just draw a million cards, and that's why he's got the... that's why he's got his Clear the Mind in, so he can keep drawing. That is a very boring version of blue-white control, if that's what you're doing. Alright, we've probably got time for one more game. Let's see if we can get another huge hit in with Brash and Emancipation. Not holding my breath. This hand doesn't look good. Lutri. Opponent goes first. I'll keep it, whatever. I'm sure we'll draw some land. We've got 3 card draws to go with. Okay. I see you. Oh, we're probably going to lose then, because this is going to be like Opt and... Okay. Well, maybe we'll go land Opt. If we don't get a land, though... Oh, no. Okay, with this we can Purpose Intervention. We did get a land. That is very glad to see. Let's keep getting lands.
I never back down from a challenge. Eureka! Sorry, I just realized it's related.
It's only a 3/3. It probably gets killed by removal. Don't really have a lot of better options. I guess I can just Guild Summit right now. And then if we can resolve a circuitous route, we'll be looking cool. I don't know how much counter spells versus burn this deck's running.
I know exactly what to do.
No, we didn't get it. Guess we'll run into some counter spells. Alright. I like this route. That seems pretty good.
The forces of nature can show us many things.
It's Lutrian. Got a land. So we might just be dead from a copied explosion coming up soon. But on the off chance we're not, let's fix our mana a little bit. Oh, this is just counterspell. Alright, so it's a counterspell deck. This is very exciting. I'm glad we resolved that Guild Summit, though. If we can find some more gates, we'll have card draw to keep us going. I just need to not die to Ral.
You ever wonder why hurricanes don't have two eyes?
No, Ral, I haven't wondered that. Go, Gatebreaker Ram. Resolves burns. Can already feel it. Yep. Unfortunately, we just don't have the gates to keep it bigger. But he's almost out of cards, so that's nice. Gets rid of Lutri. Interesting. I guess he feels like he just doesn't have an opportunity because he's got the board so locked down. Alright. Alright, Safari.
You can bury your crimes, but your past always comes back to haunt you.
14 on Ral. Sure glad he doesn't have an ultimatum. Man, if we had been drawing lands this whole time, we would have been sitting pretty. So I could try and kill Teferi. Or track down. I think I want to track down. I'd like to get some Guild Gates and Storm's Wrath. There's the gate. Gates Ablaze doesn't seem that important. Guild Summit could be, though. I already have another. I think that might be overkill. I don't like this looting on Teferi, though. Maybe I should have just killed him. Now he's always going to have counter spells. But he doesn't have card advantage, so maybe I can just grind that out against him. Until he copies an explosion. There it is.
I have just the thing to take you out for good.
Oh, he has Another one? Oh, he didn't discard the Lucha. We just didn't see what he discarded. Got it. Alright, we're done. It's a little too slow. I mean, I presume we're done. You can phase out a blocker. You just gotta find a couple spells. Did he do it?
What's not to love? I'm brilliant, handsome, and totally electrifying.
I mean, 2 counter spells is pretty hilarious here too. Oh man, we're so dead. Alright, he did it. He didn't have to... Okay, so he didn't have to wait for anything. He could have just cast the Opt and the Sublime Epiphany. But I guess he wanted to be cautious in case my blue deck was running counter spells. Which it was not. Alright, well, let's look at the deck. So we ran into a lot of non-rampy. A lot of aggression, so... I was mostly expecting counter spells actually to wreck everything, so Mystical Dispute's probably a fair sideboard consideration. But that's not what was giving us so much trouble for the most part. I would probably take out the track downs and put in more burn, more instant speed burn. I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me, because track down is still very good for this deck. It's probably just not a good time to be playing gate decks, to be honest. Maybe Arboreal Grazers and up the land count a little bit. Might be better than Circuitous Roots. That would give us some stall, and then get us closer to Storm's Wrath and Gates Ablaze. Might be worth ditching Perforous Intervention for less scaly damage and more like shock level damage, just because it'll eat up less of our mana and allow us to make a few tighter plays. Omen of the Sea, it does have blue in it. I was considering options for searching for cards. Given today's performance, I don't think it really needs Omen of the Sea. However, being able to dig for a Wrath or a Brash Taunter is nice. And then Inescapable Blaze was one I was considering also for counter spell decks. Because if you're running against, like, you can get some damage in, but you need something to finish the game out. This will deal 6 that they just can't do anything about, even if they're trying to stabilize. I don't think this is the right call, though, because a lot of decks that are playing counter spells are also gaining a fair bit of life, and I don't think they'll be down to the 6 health range by the time they stabilize. It's not like we're attacking early, so... I'm not sure that's a solution, but it is something that can force damage onto your Brash Taunter, so that's a possibility to consider. If you wanted to make the deck less janky, you'd probably take out the Fiery Emancipations. You saw every game we didn't have the mana to cast it, ever. This deck is not really built to go against a creature-based aggro format like we have been seeing, which is really not what I would expect for a format like this. So I guess go build some control decks and throw Ugin in and add in board wipes and just wreck everything. Just don't play a bunch of gates that come in tapped, because those are not good for casting Storm's Wrath. But I think next week I'll probably be doing another red deck. I still want to play with that Conspicuous Snoop, I think is its name. I don't know if he's good, but being able to play goblins off the top sounds fun. I guess it'll have to be red-blue in order to get the counter spells to keep them safe. Maybe red-green with that 2-mana card that makes all your guys indestructible. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it, though. I think this is probably going to be the focus for my next deck. But yeah, we'll be back next week. I've got a good draft for you on Wednesday, and we'll be doing more drafts in the future. So we'll see you next Wednesday and Friday.